This is how I set up my fish rack with 6 10-gallon tanks. This is just me and my girlfriend building the tanks. And then also in this video, I'll be showing you how I set up my first tank, which is panda Corys and stir-by Corys, in hopes of breeding them. So once we built it, I had to test it. This is Webstron's 3-rack, 36-inch by 24-inch rack. So this is what it looks like when it's all built and finished with the tanks on there. And then here's me. I already put sand in here. I forgot to record me putting in sand. And then I'm just leveling it out, making sure it's even enough. I'm using a really soft river sand. I forget the brand, but it's super soft. And it clumps up and kind of floats to the top, so it is kind of a pain to work with, but I think the Corys like it more than the coarse sand. And then once I get this all flattened out, I will go ahead and start putting in this little cave that I have. I used to have this for reptiles a long time ago. I ended up moving where I put it because I didn't like not being able to see them. But this is just a nice little cave that they can go to. Hopefully they spawn inside of it so I could just pull the cave out of it, but I doubt that they'll do that. And then I put a sponge filter in, and then I put a little bit of wood that I found in the back of my closet. Sorry for all the sniffling. I'm sick right now, but being sick also gives me time to shoot videos. So, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put my heater in. It's not plugged in. Don't plug your heater in if you don't have water. That'll be bad. And then I have my RO water that I just drew. So I'm going to fill this about 60% RO water, super clean. If you guys don't know what RO water is, I'll have to go ahead and make a video about that at some point. But it's basically just super purified water, super low pH. And then I'm mixing the tank water. So I'm kind of cutting, I'll explain that later, but I'm mixing tank water that these fish used to live in with the RO water. So they're going to go from probably about 7.2 to like 6.8 roughly. We'll see at the end to test it, but this is what I'm hoping for. And then this is what it looks like after I get everything filled up and ready to go. Obviously the sand is going to make the water cloudy for a few days, but here's a pair, just 2. Don't recommend keeping 2 together, but I have other Corys that are going to go in this tank, but I only have 2 panda Corys. I have a female on the right, bigger, a little bit brighter. And then I have the male on the left, darker, smaller, and you can really tell the size difference whenever you look at them from the top. It's a lot easier to see how much more broad the female is from above. And then here's an example of breeding behavior that I saw last night before I went to bed. Female is being chased by the male, pretty classic, simple nature. And then here's when I got all my stir-bys in here. So I'm trying to breed stir-bys and Corys together. And so here's all 7 or 8 of them in here. And then as far as pH goes, I try to keep it a little bit lower, a little more on the acidic side. So I ended up only getting it down to 7, but I would have liked a little bit lower. I just ordered leaves a couple days ago, Capitale leaves. All their cones work great too, so that's going to drop the pH probably to right where I want it. But pH-wise, I would say around 7. Temperature, 78. I don't like to have it too warm for them. I know on my community tanks I had it at 80. And then cold water changes are extremely important. Cold water changes resembles rain, because whenever it rains, the water temperature goes down, which when it rains in nature, the bugs fall off of like trees into the water, which basically tells them that there's plenty of food for their offspring to eat, which makes it a good time to have offspring. Another thing that I find slightly important is having a few dither fish. Make sure that these fish aren't too small or aren't too big, because if they are too big, they will try to eat the eggs that the Corys lay, and also the Corys will try to eat their own eggs. So you have to be diligent about getting them out and away from their parents to be able to hatch them. But I have 2 of my like little platies that I have tons of them that come out of my community tank. They're almost like tester fish for me. And so they're little dither fish. They go around, and basically what that is telling the Corys that there's no predators if they're swimming up top, which makes them feel a little bit safer. The problem is that you don't want to have big fish in there because they'll pressure them and then they won't lay eggs. So I find a good small fish to help dither definitely helps them feel a little more relaxed. I've also found I've only kept Panda and stir-by Cory's for about 8 months now. I got these guys when they were super little, so they're about 8 months old. I found that stir-by Cory's are much more shy than Panda Cory's. As you can see in this video, both my Panda Cory's are out eating, and all 5 of my stir-bys are inside this little cave, which I ended up moving. This video is before the video previously that I just showed. That's a terrible way to timeline it. That's my fault. But this is how I am trying to breed Cory's. Obviously, this could be a fail. Could take a lot of time. I'm not sure. But this is my first attempt at trying to breed anything other than live bearers. So wish me luck. I have a pair of black rams that I'm going to be trying to breed here soon. And also I have some beta fish that I'm going to be trying to breed. So these tanks will quickly fill up. Obviously, this is just my first one out of the 6. But we'll see how it goes. Once I do have success, if I do have success, I'll go through an in-depth video on how to actually go through the process of taking care of them, breeding them, taking care of the babies. But obviously all I have right now is a setup tank, so that's all I can offer you guys for right now. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it.